Hey everybody, it's JT from VapestarsNetwork.com. Hope everybody had a great holiday season and has big plans for New Year's Eve. Be safe. Really quick, let's go over a rebuildable atomizer. Let's chat about it for a little while, do a quick review. Vapestars opinion, if nothing else, which is all any of this is my experience, my opinions. Keep that in mind. Let's talk about the Kayfun Lite Plus clone. It's a clone. If you hate clones, you hate me because I talk about clones, probably switch off now because we're talking about a clone. I'm going to have a quick vape. We'll continue. Okay, so if you've watched some of my other Kayfun clone, Kayfun style reviews, I touched on the fact that when I first started experimenting with this style of atomizer, it was very tough. I had issues finding a good build. I had issues with the draw. It was just too tight of a draw for me, coming from dripping atomizers with large air holes. At this point in my vaping journey, I am really in love with this style of atomizer. Great flavor, very convenient to have 4.5 milliliters of juice in a tank without bottles, without refilling. That's awesome to me. And I'm very pleased with the vapor production. Okay, so I do like these. I still will talk about features and pros and cons and things that I don't like. But I'll tell you right off the bat, the Kayfun Lite Plus clone knocked it out of the park. This is one of the best atomizers of this style that I personally have tried. Okay, I do have, it looks a little different. This has got what they call an M tank. This is an M tank clone. It's a frosted plastic tank. This is in a different accessory. This does not come with this atomizer. This atomizer is from eCiggity.com. It's $49.99 right now. Pretty sure that's exactly what it is, but 50 bucks. The tank section that it comes with will look like this, a small frosted section in the middle, but also comes with a stainless section you can replace that with. I like to be able to see the juice in my tank, so I use the frosted, somewhat transparent section, but it also looks really cool all stainless. So those are options. This is a E-Pro, EH Pro makes this clone atomizer, and I really like the way it comes. It comes in a nice padded box, comes with a little piece of echo wool, like I said, the tank sections. Comes with a Kayfun style drip tip, which is this here that I'm using, and also a drip tip adapter. I'll go ahead and tell you, without that adapter, really very few, I think I have one drip tip that fits without the adapter. That's okay. That's alright with me. The adapter is fine to use, and pretty much all of your drip tips should fit with the use of the adapter. So it's worth mentioning. Today I'm using it with the original Kayfun style drip tip. But it comes with extra O-rings, couple extra screws, things like that. Pretty cool. Now let's get into some of the reasons this is different from something like the 3.1 clone. Let's actually hold that up really quick. The tank section is the same. The juice capacity is the same. 4.5 milliliters. Really awesome. So tank section's the same. This M tank clone fits on this 3.1 clone as well. So you can swap that out if you have both. The base here, below the tank section, is very thick. Okay? And on the 3.1 clone, has your air hole. It has your juice fill hole there. On the Lite Plus clone, it's very thin. The tank stops, you've got a small section, and that's it. That gives you a smaller atomizer overall. That's really nice to me. The 3.1's pretty big, you know, it adds a lot of length to your mod, which some of you may need. I might need that too, but she didn't say that. That's not what she said. The biggest thing is they took the airflow adjustment and the fill port where you fill the tank. They put it on the bottom. Okay, this is one of the biggest things in my mind that I really found different about this Lite Plus clone. So as you take it off and you look where your 510 threads are, you see a Phillips screw head there. Okay, that's where you fill your juice. You remove that screw. Again, I use a syringe and this type of filling tip to refill my Kayfun style atomizers. And then directly across from it, you see that hole there? That's the airflow adjustment. Okay, like my other Kayfun style and Kayfun clone atomizers, I personally use this with that screw 100% removed. I put it in the box for safekeeping. I put it over here. That, in my opinion, gives me the most open draw that I can get from this atomizer, which is what I like. That's what's comfortable to me. And there's something I noticed about this. If you adjust that airflow adjustment screw out, okay, it doesn't sit flush with the bottom anymore. So when you attach that to your device, your mod, there's a very good chance, and it did it to me, your atomizer won't sit flush. Okay, there will be a gap there. That doesn't matter to a lot of people. Awesome. I'll be honest, it kind of bothers me. I like my atomizers to sit nice and flush. That's just what I like. Okay, so I use this with the air adjustment screw totally out. I have not had any problems with leaking so far. It's been about a week I've been using it like that. I don't have any issues. I get the most open draw that can be offered from this atomizer. Just a great atomizer. I will say the 3.1, the top here was squared off and wasn't a big deal, but I didn't really like it. It's beveled here. It's nice. It's at an angle. That's a pretty cool feature. And you still have the small air hole here in the side. So depending on how you hold your mod, sometimes I'll notice my finger covers that hole. Not a big deal at all. I've gotten zero leakage from this atomizer with the stock tank or with the M tank clone. No leakage whatsoever. I've had time to develop the certain style build that I like. I use organic cotton in my Kayfun clones, and I build it at about 0.9 ohm. For me, that's really the sweet spot. That's just all there is to it. That's the sweet spot for me. Not too hot, not melting insulators in there, which some people say can be done if you build it at too low of a resistance. That's just my spot, 0.9. In my experience, in my opinion, this style of atomizer is not going to be a cloud maker. I know people will argue and people will comment and tell me that their Kayfun puts out huge clouds, and that's fine, that's awesome. To be honest, that's not important to me. I'm looking for a quality vape, good flavor, good vapor production, and convenience. That's a lot of juice to have in a tank and throw in my pocket or my book bag and run out for the day. The Lite Plus clone, home run. I like pretty much everything about it. 50 bucks I think is a fair price. I feel like this will last quite a while. There are accessories for it. I think it's great. Now, 50 bucks is still 50 bucks. But I think hopefully what I'm trying to do by reviewing the 3.1, by reviewing, you know, a month or so ago, the Kayfun Lite clone, Hopefully you can watch all three of those and decide which one suits you the best. That's the idea. For me, honestly, the Lite Plus clone is number one. Really quick, if you own some of these style atomizers, this may be important to you. The 3.1 without the air adjustment screw, still a pretty tight draw to me. The Lite Plus is more open. The full Russian, the Russian atomizer, is the most open draw. Again, with the air screw removed, I get the most open draw from it. Next would come the Lite Plus, and then the 3.1. And then the Kayfun Lite clone would be way down here. Super tight draw. Was not comfortable for me. That's the Lite Plus clone, man. I really love it. I will be doing, after this review portion, a close-up look because it's a little different. It's a little different than the previous Kayfun clones that I have tried and built on. So let's flip. Let's do an up-close look at it.
Okay, let's have a closer look at this Kayfun Lite Plus clone rebuildable atomizer. Pretty standard. If you are familiar with Kayfun style atomizers, you've got a pretty standard thing here. Start at the top, a Kayfun style drip tip. It comes with an adapter, a drip tip adapter. I will say I've got one or two drip tips that will fit. Without the adapter, 99.9% of them need this adapter to fit. Not a big deal. The adapter's included. Pretty standard. Tank section, 2 stainless sections, and the middle section can either be used with this frosted see-through portion or the included stainless portion. It gives you an all stainless look. Pretty cool. I think it looks great either way. I use the window section more than the stainless one. I like to see my juice level. So, big things compared to the Kayfun 3.1 clone. They moved the airflow adjustment and the juice fill port to the bottom side. As you can see, my airflow adjustment screw is totally removed. I have had no problems. I get as open of a draw as possible. Stock. So I take it out, I put it back in my box, and I save it. I've had no leaking, no issues. Everything's fine with that. Please let me know if you have different experiences if you try that. Phillips head, that's your juice fill. Pretty self-explanatory. Take that out, fill it up, put it back, you're ready to rock. Box it comes in like the other Kayfun clones by ePro. Really great, padded. Everything comes in it. Extra O-rings, a little bit of echo wool, a little wire, you know, the normal stuff. The M-Tank clone from eSiggity as well fits on this perfectly, looks really great, so that's pretty nice. One other thing, I just wanted to show the difference in the 3.1. This is the 3.1 clone, and this is the Lite Plus clone. This base is the big change in the size between the two. You see, this is the 3.1 clone, has the air hole, the airflow adjustment, and the juice fill port right here on the side with this section. Here they move that to the bottom. The base is far smaller. I will also admit, fully aware, that I'm not real sure if this large base serves another purpose. Internally, I'm not sure if that serves a different purpose, so please comment below, educate me, tell me. One last thing I want to mention, and then I'll show you the internals, is you see this gap down here. Okay? When I received this and opened it up, the O-ring that was around these bottom threads was broken. No big deal. This cloned atomizer comes with extra O-rings. That's a beautiful thing. So I threw another one on there, and I may have used a thicker O-ring So I have a little gap here. Doesn't really bother me. I get zero leakage from it, and as that O-ring kind of breaks in a little bit, I'm sure that gap will close up, but it doesn't give me any issues whatsoever. And like I said, there are extra O-rings included. So that being said, let's look at the internals of this thing. And yeah, let's look at the internals. Okay, so this is the main reason I did this close-up look, because in my opinion there are many smarter people, more experienced people than me out there with Kayfun and Kayfun style atomizer videos. So there's a lot of information. But I really wanted to show the base of the Kayfun Lite Plus clone. Kayfun and Kayfun clone owners and rebuilders will see something pretty quickly. There are no holes in the post for your resistance wire. Okay? The two ends of your coil on other Kayfun style clones and atomizers, you wrap your coil, you run one end of your wire through a hole here, one end through a hole here, and you're good to go. Not on this one. You will need to build your coil, wrap it around the screw heads here, these Phillips screw heads, these posts, and that's how you will attach it. When I first unwrapped and opened this atomizer, that bothered me at first, slightly. I have gotten very used to having holes in the post on rebuildable atomizers lately. In my experience, and in my opinion, that has become a pretty standard feature for rebuildables lately, is having holes in the post. Not a big deal on this. I gotta tell you, you're building a pretty small coil, most likely a micro coil for this atomizer anyway. You're having to position it over an air hole. It's not that big a deal to wrap it around these posts, but I wanted to mention it. I was unaware of that. I haven't seen a lot of information on that, so I just wanted to mention that in this video. Otherwise, everything else is pretty standard. You know, that's your chimney there, tank section, and so forth. I just wanted to mention that, folks. I really like this atomizer. The no holes in the post really doesn't bother me that bad at all. I just wanted to make sure and mention it.